And we're going.
And we're going here. So, all right. Hey, welcome back to the Paint Nerds.
Da Paint Nerds.
We had a couple week hiatus. I was out and about doing my thing, and he had also doing his thing.
Yes. Life found a way.
Yes, life found a way. Still love that phrase in Jurassic Park.
Mm-hmm.
Life will always find a way, and it's just kind of like, yeah, you're right. We're humans are still here.
Yep. Despite our best efforts.
Today, you're not going to see us do a whole lot of painting. Today is more of a... We wanted to share with you not only why we paint, but what painting really is and what it does. You know, a lot of people think, you know, painting has this just, I put a coat of paint on it and therefore I paint it, which they're not wrong.
Technically correct.
In the basic sense of the word, yeah, they're very right. But the way I look at it and the way I shared it with you is painting is really just us making an illusion.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like you see people who paint the sides of buildings, these huge murals, and these huge murals, like their eyes follow you. The character looks real. The executive producer has decided.
Yep.
It's all right. We got you, bud.
He sees the PHO.
Yeah, the Pahony.
The Pahony.
But painting, like, you know, that and that is wholly why Chris and I do what we do.
Mm-hmm.
It's, we like to create that sense of real on a surface. So, like, we talk, like, if you go through our videos, yes, they're long, they're an hour a piece, but we're really just trying to have a conversation with you and to help you understand that, you know, you don't have to be an art school graduate to understand how gradients and tones work. You don't have to be, you know, painting for 500 years to understand how, you know, just a little bit of wet in the right spot will
Technical difficulties.
As everything we try to do,
Everything we touch dies.
everything we touch dies. Why is it burning us? Oh, Jesus. But I always turn it so much to me. I feel vain. But there's a lot to painting that, you know, it's a lot of it's trial and error. I mean, even for the professionals, the people that you see making those huge murals, I am going to put it more towards me because I'm waving my hands around like an idiot and I look silly. But the people who make those murals, they've gone to art school, but they still took the time to learn how gradient works. They took the time to learn how, you know, tones work. They know where to, you know, make the wet and the glisten so it has that depth. And it's all stuff you can do by practice. You don't need some, you know, guy who's just like, oh, well, in my day, you know, because we're not in his day anymore.
Right.
I mean, we have people who do works digitally, like Jennifer from Trolltooth.
Yeah.
She's a graphic artist, man.
Nice.
Joke not, the stuff you see on the website for the Save Point. Mm-hmm. She did all that stuff.
Wow.
Like the symbol and everything. Like, I mean, the symbol we sent her, that was, but all the digital representation of it all
Right.
and all the little tweaks to make it work, that was all her. And she's amazing. But art comes in so many forms. You have, you know, pencil and paper, pen and ink. You have painting. You have, you know, sculpting. You have people who literally sculpt marble just by hammering out all the rough edges.
Architectural design, bonsai, all of it. I mean,
It's all art,
yeah.
and it's all stuff you have to learn. It's stuff you have to kind of really feel right here and just go for it. You know, and I actually heard I was on Twitter, and there was a guy who was sitting there going, you know, you guys don't understand. I want to buy all this Warhammer stuff, and my hands are too shaky to paint. I'm like, I can fix that. I can teach you to paint with shaky hands. You know, your hand can be like, and I can still teach you to paint great. It takes a little longer, yes, but simple little bit. Make an A with your elbows. Your hands tend to stop shaking. The closer your hands get with your elbows firmly placed on a hard surface, you will literally, you know, stop shaking for a little bit to get, you know, finer detail. You can sit there and so, like, I'm gonna start with this one. One of my favorite ones to watch, and I don't know why, but it's so pleasing to watch. These videos are the people, like I was telling you, the people who do the spray paint art. Those guys are just insane. Like, they sit there and they just spray this spray paint, and they do stuff with their hands. They blend. You know, you'll see them go, and you see the water just start. And then, you know, they have planets and they have pagodas and trees and all that. It's insane. And then they put a stencil over it, and you've got all that really cool stuff, but it's in the shape of something. That's one I enjoy. What about you, bud?
Yes to all.
Yes to all.
I love the less obvious painting works. If you look at like old sci-fi movies or old adventure movies, or older, not necessarily old, but like Indiana Jones, Raiders of the Lost Ark, the scene with all the crates,
Yeah.
that's a painting.
Really?
Yeah. All of the
So that was like a sheet perspective?
Yeah. Yep. All of the wide shots in Star Wars across
Yes.
like a cityscape, all paintings.
Yes.
Even the interior of the Death Star, it's an oil painting, and they just added a little bitty shuttle flying in.
So that, like, literally everything we do is a miniature version of that. You know, so in a way, we're carrying on the tradition of
Right.
great 3D artists.
I mean, you can make a living in this.
Oh yeah. Oh, dude, that's not even a joke. I know a commission artist that for like a specific miniature, one miniature is like $35.
Yeah.
But the detail you get is insane. You know, and you're not paying him because he knows where to paint. You're paying him for the, you know.
He knows how to paint.
Yeah. Yeah. And that is one thing about, like, you and I, we get paid to paint. You know, I get paid to paint things a certain way. He gets paid to paint things a certain way. You know, I get paid to do crazy things. And I kind of like that about being a painter. It's like, I love, the one thing I love about painting and helping somebody, you know, fulfill their dream and their illusion is when they tell me, I don't know what I really want, but, and then they tell you exactly what they want. And you just kind of have to sit there and go.
And then you have to make them think that they didn't think of it and that you just pulled it out of the air.
Well, like I always tell them, I said, what are your favorite colors? And like from right there, it's like, oh, I could do it in my favorite colors? Yes, I'm pretty sure there's an A Star Days chapter with your favorite colors in it. I mean, if they say, oh, I like black and gold, okay, dude, that's like Raven Guard, and that's like, I think it's like third or second, you know, chapter. You know, it's that simple.
Or we could just focus it on you because I'm going to be parenting until he falls asleep.
Yes, I have young Owen, the executive producer.
It's currently in my seat. And so many people have like taken the established rules and just laughed at
You guys
them.
could look at Venom. How's that? I don't know. I'm weird when it, you know. I'm weird having it on me like that. It doesn't feel right.
So, example of
Especially when I'm doing anything.
well, someone breaking the rules and just basically creating her own genre. Are you familiar with Mary Blair?
No.
It's a Small World, the ride at the Disney parks. She took she designed this color scheme for that, where all of the previously accepted color wheels and color theory, she took it and did the absolute opposite of what you were expected to do at the time, and
Nice.
created a whole art style around it.
So it goes to show breaking the rules is important.
Yep. One of the few people to turn in her resignation to Walt Disney himself, and then come back later and say, hey, I want to come back. And without even an interview, you're back.
Right? That's awesome. Yeah, and that's the thing a lot of you guys need to understand is that, yeah, we're two dads who are sitting here smiling and goofing off and showing different ways to do things. But in the end, if painting really calls to you, you're going to find a way. You don't need our help, honestly. You really don't.
Right.
You know, you're going to find a way to do it, even if you're, doing watercolor, because all the theories for watercolor work with our stuff too.
Yep.
You know, all the, the creation of depth, you can do that with watercolor. It doesn't
Do it really well with watercolor.
Oh yeah. So, like, we literally get paid to create an illusion, and you guys too, with just practice, can create those really cool illusions. Like, there's one I saw. It's like I was scrolling through Facebook, and there was this guy who was basically like throws paint up on a fence, and effectively he there we go, much better looking person.
There you go. Yep. This is it right here.
But he actively just like throws paint up on a wall and then starts painting with different style brushes and brushes on taped to sticks. And next thing you know, like it pans out and he's made this giant tiger that I swear if I ever walked by it and saw it, I would crap myself. Like you would just hear my pants fill up. That's it. My bowels would evacuate. My heart would stop. I'm done. And I like the fact that there are just average everyday people who just enjoy painting that sit there and like fully embrace creating that illusion.
Yeah.
They fully embrace it. There's no in between. It's like, I'm gonna make this tiger look so realistic people think they're about to get ate.
Right.
And then he goes out and does it. And it's like,
In the most random way.
right. And you literally have to sit there and be like, wow, wow.
Yeah.
It dwarfs my skill. But then when you hear him in an interview, he's like, the only reason I do big things is because I can't do the little things.
Right.
And I'm sitting there going, oh, well,
So
I can do the
what
little
he can,
things.
yeah.
And I find humor in that. There's a lot to, it's safe, dude. He won't be able to get that off. And if he does, he's a genius.
Yeah.
But that's, hey, you can swap over here while he's running around with that. Now we're both back in the scene.
Okay.
Both back in here. Like that. I'm not worried. He can run around with it. But, but in all seriousness, dude, it's like, you see people who could do really, like, you see these people who do these really intricate, miniatures. And you're like, yeah, that's really cool. I like the way he did that, and I like the way he did that, and I would have gone a different way with that, but yeah, that looks good. And then you see us try to
those.
Oh yeah,
I've seen him do it.
Ruh-roh. He's like, but I want to be purple. He wants to. He wants to.
I'm sorry.
He wants to be purple. But then you see these people who do these really big, works of art. And it's like, oh yeah, I can do these big murals all day, but I can't do, I can't do like miniatures. And I have to sit there and be like, how can you do something that big, but then not be able to do a miniature?
Right. Like you're making the small things in the mural that are that size, which is why the mural is so good. But you
can't take
can't
a three-dimensional
do it if it's
miniature
in 3 dimensions.
But but even the little stuff in their mural looks like amazing.
Yeah.
Like, even if you go up close and, like, inspect it, you could just see where everything just curves, and it's got that 3-dimension. It looks real, like it's going to jump off the, like it's going to, jump off the, canvas and just, go do its thing. And then, I sit there and I'm like, well, I like when I did Venom, I didn't think I was going to be able to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm sitting there going, I'm going to have to freehand the hell out of this.
Yeah.
And so I literally took some erasable marker and kind of drew out my outline. And then I was painting, I was fixing all of my mistakes as I was painting.
Mm-hmm.
And voila.
That is fantastic.
Carnage doesn't look as great, but that's because Carnage it looks a little wetter than he does. Like,
It's
I would
super
have
hard to get that to come through.
Well, it's really hard to get like reds to look wet.
Right.
I mean, I would have to like take gloss medium
Yeah.
and just kind of brush over everything and hope. If I had like Carlsberg Crimson Gloss, I could probably just airbrush it. But what's funny is I didn't use my airbrush once on any of this.
Wow.
This is all brushwork. Like, all of it. The only thing I put on was I sprayed some clear.
Like clear primer?
Yeah. It was just that's fishing line, dude. I do not even care. I don't even know where it came from. Be careful up there. Man, you can't be careful.
So bad. Let's keep talking. I'm gonna walk him around.
But like, I don't know, man. One group of people that I literally have to, shout out to are the artists who get, who put in the work for like Magic cards or trading card games.
Oh God.
Like, you think that, your art is, something, and then to have it mass produced all around the world
And
for
like,
one game.
The effects that those, like some of them are like almost photorealistic.
Yeah. Magic card. I mean, don't get me wrong. That's like hard ass artwork in a card.
Yeah.
Like, what? I have to sit there and like I look at the artist names and every now and again I'll see one that just really blows my mind, and I'll legit go research their stuff just to see what else they've done.
Right.
And I mean, I don't have a favorite one because my neurodivergent ass can't have a favorite. I don't have favorites. Like, it irritates my girl to death, dude. It irritates the kids too.
I bet.
Because I'll sit there and go, "What's your favorite food?" Don't have one.
Whatever I'm eating.
They go, "What's your favorite car?" I don't have one. Oh, what's your favorite knife? Because they know I'm into knives. It's like, I don't have one. It's a knife for a job. Oh, what's your favorite color? Don't have one. What's your favorite drink? I mean, I drink a crap ton of coffee.
Right.
So if I were to have a favorite, I guess I could say coffee. But then I'll drink Monster. I'll drink Nos. I'll drink,
Make sure you
Bang.
say them all so we don't get any.
I'll drink Bang. I'll drink Rain. I'll pour 5-hour energy into a cup of coffee just if I think it'll work. I mean, but that's the kind of person I don't have favorites, and I don't know if that has something to do with me having a really weird, mentality, or if it was my upbringing. But I don't have favorites. And wow, someone is just
He
fighting.
needs a nap so. I'm surprised. Normally he falls asleep on the way here, and I'm a block and a half away. So.
Yeah, because I'll be right back, folks.
All right.
But
Luckily, we're recording this for the podcast finally, so we can still keep talking and creating content.
yeah, I don't even know where the hell that went. Like,
For those
it went-
playing along at home, the pacifier of our executive producer went flying to the winds.
and finding it is now something of a puzzle, because good lord, like, he prestidigitated it, man.
Yep.
Did you see where it went?
I thought I did, but then I was wrong.
It's like we have gnomes or something in here, just kind of whoop. watch it actually be lying on a piece of the floor that looks just
Yeah.
like it. Because
Well, yeah, I keep seeing the light green reflection on the chairs. I'm like, there it is. No, that's paint.
yep, that's how
It's
I'm
all
doing
good.
it.
It'll turn up.
Yeah, sooner or later.
Yeah.
But like in all honesty, everything we do as artists, I mean, and trust me, the minute you pick up a pen and start putting it to paper and making something that that you can show off, even if it's a stick figure. I mean, you could be making the basics. You've taken your first step to being an artist. If you take a paintbrush and you start creating this world, you're an artist. I mean, and I'm not saying. And here's another. I'm going to go even a step further. If you can weave words in a book, you're an artist. And actors, you're an artist. Yeah, I mean, being an artist is being able to change the world or the perception of it through an illusion, through the illusions of the imagination, through the illusions of the eye. If you can trick someone's eye, you succeeded. If you can trick someone's mind and use their imagination to teleport them from something, you succeeded as an artist. If you can, take clay and sculpt something visceral and beautiful and have people, really, really just enjoy what you've done and, feel it deeply, you're an artist. So, all things considered, when you're an artist, you're beholden to yourself to, be true to who you are, even if your art scares people, if it unnerves them, if the place you teleport them to is, even in their mind, is dangerous and scary and taboo. It's your job to be true to your art.
And you're making people think.
Yeah.
And that's what scares them, is they're thinking about something that they wouldn't normally think about. And some people, that's terrifying.
Oh yeah. Provoking thought is probably the greatest form of art. And in provoking thought, you provoke action. Like the whole "don't talk about your wages at work." That every time I heard that, that's the first thing I did. Like, I actually got fired from a job where they said, "Oh, we're gonna pay you at this, but don't tell anybody," because they gave me that spiel of, "Oh, we don't just pay anybody." First thing I did, I was hired and fired the same day. Because the first thing I did was walk into the break room and go, "Hey guys, I make this."
We probably could have phrased it better.
And everybody
Maybe have,
looked
like,
at
a
me
lead-in.
and literally goes, "Wait, what?" I was like, "Yeah, this is how much they're paying me to do this job. What about y'all? We can't talk about that. There's no law against it. There's no law. No company can fire me for this."
Right.
And they fired me.
Well,
And they didn't fire me.
God bless
for
right
talk-
to work states.
They didn't fire me because I was talking about my pay rate, my wages. They fired me for insubordination.
Because they said you can't do this, and you did it.
Well, yeah, but at the same point, firing me for insubordination is basically, not fire. They're not firing me for a company policy that violates federal law.
Right. But that's another rant for another.
But I was young and
for
stupid.
another day.
I was genuinely young and stupid. I'm not gonna lie. I was young and stupid, and I had to sit there and be like, "That's not right."
Mm-hmm. So back to painting.
Yes.
And things you can do with it. If you want great examples, shameless plug for Disney if they ever listen to us and want to.
Oh, their lawyers do.
Yep. Look at literally every single piece of rock work in any film.
Hand sculpted,
airbrushed, and has a story behind it. Like, the amount of detail these artists go into with all of their work is just mind-boggling.
And to show you what I mean by the magic cards, it's like that card right there. That is some amazing art. I didn't do it. This is done by Andrei Kaczynski. Like, this guy right here could easily, like, make your favorite comic or something. And you would probably just go, what are you doing? What was that?
Yeah, so looking at it, you've got light, shadow, object source lighting, non-metallic metal, just every paint technique that we've talked about or demonstrated or talked about demonstrating is on this one card.
Mm-hmm.
In, what's that, like a 2" by 2.5" inch picture? I'm just eyeballing. We don't need to, like... Yes, we do, because we're paint nerds.
It's 3.5 by 2.5.
Well, yeah, but just the painting.
The square itself is 2" by 1.5, 1 3/4.
So anyway, yeah, this tiny little painting has all of those techniques, and they all read through. Like,
yeah, and the best part is I got to show you this because why not?
Oh yeah, and granted,
Miniature Magic cards that are 1-for-1 replicas of the original.
And honestly, you know, these are all obviously like painted larger than they are on the card.
Like, no joke. This stuff is great. I love this. One of the patrons here, he actually has a fully legal. These are tournament legal cards for Commander. Made a deck of these little cards. His Commander card is one of those just enormous ones like this. It's great. It is a thing of beauty, and I, for one, applaud him daily for... I applaud him daily for the fact that he even went that far to get it. Hey, Owen. There you go, bud.
Ooh.
So, it...
Say thank you.
He doesn't know that word.
No, he doesn't.
So, like, in all honesty, art is exactly that. It's being able to convey your thoughts, your imagination onto a medium.
Yep.
And that's how you create illusions. That's how you make illusions that touch people's souls, dude.
That's deep. This is like the realest episode we've done.
Yeah. It really is, because most of the time we're just goofing off.
Yeah.
Like,
We're like talking about like how art touches our souls and amazing things, and yeah, this is crazy. Like, go figure, it's when he's awake and running around like a chicken with his head cut off.
we have this deep, profound moment. The story of our life, really. And I don't know, I think this is probably going to be one of our shorter episodes at 30 minutes, but I really want to encourage all of you. I mean, it is Pride Month, but you guys don't need a month to make art. You don't need an artist's month to get into a craft that can change even one person's life. You don't need a month to be yourself. You don't need a month to dictate who you are as a human being. And you don't need a month to be appreciated and loved for the hard work you put in to being yourself.
And if it's not appreciated by certain people,
We're your dads now.
yep.
Seriously.
Yep.
If nobody can appreciate you for you, and your family's giving you a hard time for being who you want to be, we're your dads now. It's that simple.
Sorry.
Well, yeah.
We're what you got. But
Yep. We'll do our best. We love you. You are valid. We appreciate you, and you are all beautiful.
Yes.
And I think that pretty much sums it up. And we're two dads, so we've got the experience. Big hug.
White shoes, white New Balances.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, he's got the dad shoes.
Got the dad shoes.
So.
They just appeared in my closet one day. Don't know how.
They came with dad. And we got the dad bods.
Yep.
So
Yep. Pecs. That's what they are.
I find it kind of funny that you do that, and it's like, ooh, I do that. It's like, her.
Well, different cup sizes.
I love you, man.
So, man, zero or bro? That's the big question.
Yeah. But yeah, I hope by the end of this whole thing, if you've gotten this far. You guys can do what we do, and you guys could probably do it a lot better.
Yep.
And
we just have a podcast / stream. That's the only difference.
We do stupid things, and we try to make people happy.
Yep.
So, we love you guys.
And show us what you got.
Yeah, dude. Go to the Paint Nerds on Facebook, dude.
Paint Nerds
Drop
on
that
Facebook.
stuff.
Show us what you're working with.
Yeah. Shake your brush. Paint the stuff.
Vigno paints.
Show me what you're painting now.
We're gonna get sued.
We are so gonna get sued.
Let's go through the laundry list of who's suing us this week.
Let's see. We have Disney. We have Wizards of the Coast. We have
Citadel, because we mentioned Nagaroth Knight.
Yeah.
There we go again.
Coke, probably because Monster.
Whoever owns Monster, yeah.
Coke.
Well, you went through the whole list. You know who's not suing us? Venom Energy Drinks. Oh, wait, there we go.
Actually, they probably wouldn't. They'd probably like, hey, these guys are saying our name.
Finally, I haven't seen Venom Energy Drinks in years.
Oh, but Venom was so good. It was
me going when I was working nights.
It was the Arizona iced tea of energy drinks.
Yep.
They were like $1.
And they looked so badass, like Mamba Purple. And
Yeah, dude. All you saw was
I'm
this
so glad
snake.
that somebody else knows about those.
Trust me, I worked overnights too. I know the feeling of sitting there going, coffee's just not going to cut today, man.
When you go to the 610, not the 7-Eleven, when you can't afford 7-Eleven,
Right.
you go to a little bit of a sketchier gas station to get your energy drink.
Or as I like to call them, the Stop and Rob.
Stop and Robs. God.
Yep, that I don't even know where I got that term. All I know is that
I've
I
heard
cannot
you-
go by a mom
yeah,
and pop. I can't go by a mom and pop like convenience store without calling it a Stop and Rob. Like, hey, I'm gonna go over to the Stop and Rob, and like I remember I said that to Stephanie. I was running up to a local store up here, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go hit the Stop and Rob. I'm gonna go grab a beer real quick.
Like, which one?
And she goes, the what? Like she had never heard that term before, Stop and Rob.
I mean, as a geriatric millennial, I think it's on the...
Wait, I'm geriatric?
No, I am. I think you're technically Gen X.
I am Gen X.
Yeah, I'm 84, so I'm the elder millennial cohort.
So is Stephanie.
Yep.
Wow.
So it's a loop-de-loopy roller coaster of topics here on
Yeah.
Paint Nerds.
Yeah. So I think that's gonna cut it for today.
What should we
so-
talk about next week? Let's have a plan this time.
Well, I mean,
Rather
this
than-
was my plan.
Rather than in the... Well, yeah, I just didn't...
You didn't ask me near enough, He's like literally, he texted me, so what's
2
the
hours
plan?
ago.
What's the topic for today? I'm like, I was just going to talk about paint and how, it applies to a lot of the stuff you see in the real
I
world,
was
man.
like, bitchin'.
Yeah, and then this happened.
Yep. The most deep freewheeling episode of the season.
And, then that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's ours. We're loud.
Yeah.
I mean, we don't have sponsors, so, we don't have to sit there and go,
But if you'd like to sponsor us,
Yeah.
by all means, hit us up.
But honestly, let's just. I'm going to be honest. I want to thank Jennifer and Justin over at Troll Tooth Productions. I want to thank Stephanie and the kids for giving me the space and time to do this kind of stuff. I don't get a whole lot of time.
Thanks to Heather and Owen for putting up with my malarkey week after week. Thanks to Chris and SafePoint for the studio
space.
and internet.
Internets, man, gotta love them.
Got to thank George
Oh yes, for
bringing us on
mechanized
board.
assault.
For Mechanized Assault. Go check it out on Kickstarter and on the internets again.
Yep.
You can, or have they already picked the 3 winners of the spicy chickens, or is that still up in the
I
air?
don't know. They're gonna have to check the Kickstarter to
Okay.
find out.
If you are one of the top 3 backers for the Mechanized Assault Kickstarter game, you will receive one of the 3 custom
Painted.
Prime editions. Only one of each will ever be painted again,
Yep.
because we cannot recreate it.
I don't even remember how.
I know I
painted
it. I painted it Corvus black. And I threw some green at it, and then I just added every technical I had on hand till I make it gritty and grungy. But a custom-made faction spicy chicken mech, made by either myself, Chaz, or George, will be the top 3 backers' prizes.
Yep. And yeah, like we said, we're not gonna get the spicy chickens and recreate it in mass at all.
Can't do it.
I mean, you can recreate it if you get a hold of
We'll
it.
provide what we think we used paint-wise, color schemes.
I don't even think I could go that far. Like, I'm not even gonna lie, dude.
Honestly, that's specifically why I only used a few colors. Was that if it takes off, it'll take off, and people will want to know. Like, yeah, exactly.
Yeah!
People want to know what we used. So,
that was the scariest thing to ever
you're
come
right.
out of
He's
his
a little
mouth, man.
velociraptor sometimes. But yeah, so again, you can find me, Chris, on the internet at 504 Minis. Chaz
I really don't. I
is not on the internets.
No, I do this with you, and you'll see my stuff on the Paint Nerds, and every now and again, Chris will grab some of the stuff that I do, and like he'll take pictures of it and put it on like the Save Point Facebook
Yep.
page.
So 504 Minis, The Paint Nerds, Save Point, Droll Tooth Productions, Mechanized Assault. This is our end credits.
Later, folks.
Have a great day. Don't stop painting.